Welcome to the VeVeVerse. When you first arrive, you'll be taken to the lobby, where you'll find all the showrooms you've created or have been shared with you. And don't worry, showrooms aren't deleted, they're just archived, so all your hard work isn't lost. You can create a new showroom by giving it a name and selecting the template you want to use. As the space loads, you'll see this navigation tips panel, which tells you how to navigate the space with your keyboard and mouse. Let's run through the basics. Use the arrow keys to move left, right, forwards, and backwards. If you hold Shift, you'll move at twice the speed, which is handy if you need to cover some ground quickly. Use the spacebar or E to go up, and Q to go down. You can also rotate the camera by holding your mouse. Now we're moving, let's have a look at these toolbars. In the main menu, we alter our audio and video settings, and we can change our graphics performance. There are 4 settings, and the highest is Quality, which delivers stunning visuals, allowing you to view the VeVeVerse in all its glory, but it may lead to slower performance on less powerful computers. Performance mode prioritizes speed, which is really helpful if you're constructing a large space, but the visuals aren't quite as precise. Tapping the space icon allows us to change the properties of our environment. For example, you can change the color and density of the fog in the space, or you can change the contrast of the colors. And don't worry, if you get a bit carried away with the settings, you can easily restore them to their default values. Now for the moment everyone's been waiting for, adding collectibles. Tap the content icon to access your library of assets. This includes your collectibles and comics, along with simple shapes, lights, and even vegetation. Just click on the asset or assets you want to add, insert, and find a nice spot for them in your space. There are lots of different ways to navigate the VeVeVerse, which can be found by tapping the controls icon. You can walk or fly in the first person, or you can use flat movement, which means you won't leave the ground if you look up and move forward. You can also use a third-person view of your avatar, which can be made closer or further away by scrolling on your mouse. And you can view your spaces from the top, front, or side. Thankfully, you can reset your position if you get lost or stuck. By pressing the Tools icon, you'll reveal this toolbar to the left, which gives us lots of options for editing and interacting with our assets. If you've selected the Explore option, you'll be able to navigate your space without accidentally moving anything. This is particularly useful if you've been invited to a showroom where the owner hasn't locked their assets in place. Interact allows you to select an object or part of an object, which is handy if you're editing a VeVeVerse showroom, for example. If you select Move and click on the asset you want to manipulate, these transform tools will appear beneath it. Hold down the green square for flat movement, hold the arrows to move the asset along the X, Y, or Z axis, rotate with the green circle, or adjust the scale with the white box. You can also draw onto simple shapes if you want to personalize them, or annotate them by adding text, in case you want to leave a note for your visitors. We can also change the texture of a shape using the Material Fill tool, which gives us a whole lot of options when we're personalizing our spaces. Finally, we can measure between 2 points in the space, or we can use a pointer for when we hold lectures in the VeVeVerse. If you're not sure where you've placed a collectible or shape, you can highlight them from the Object List view, and we can make further alterations to the properties of our assets by selecting their Properties menu, which can also be found by right-clicking an object. And if you get a bit carried away with your transformations, don't panic. Just tap the Undo or Redo buttons. To the right of the toolbar, we can adjust the social tools for our space, such as our microphone, camera, and screens we'd like to share. We can also invite people to our spaces so they can appreciate our work. Or, if we assign them a master creator role, they can do the work for us. And last, but certainly not least, is the profile icon. Here you can find your avatar setting, which can either be a VeVeVerse system avatar or your Ready Player Me avatar, which you can create by heading to the Ready Player Me website. So what are you waiting for? It's time to start creating the space your glorious collectibles deserve. Stay tuned for more VeVeVerse tutorials, where we'll explore all these features and more in greater depth.